Coaches, welcome back to Bigs Rule the World. We're starting a new series now, breaking down the pool. We want to go into the specific teachings of it. Today, we just want to break it down. This is part one. We're going to talk about 3 things we analyze when we're getting ready to make our pool and when we're teaching the pool. Be sure to go check on our earlier episodes, episode 9, episode 10 of this season. We got a newsletter coming out. You'll want to pop the link in the description at the bottom of this video to try to get in and be able to, contribute, hear from the offensive line community, guys. I think we got something great. We got a movement started with offensive line coaches that I'm excited about. 3 focus points for how we're going to do our G pull, how we're going to do our guard pulling. Who are you blocking? What should your first step be? What should your strike point be? Okay, 3 big focus points that come into play when we're teaching how we do each pull and how we're doing our pulls and our plays. Okay, first one, who are you blocking? Are you blocking a linebacker, a defensive tackle, or a defensive end with your pull? Defensive tackles, we have to remember, we're usually doing these guys on trap. It's going to be a lot quicker play. When we start into the first step, this is why I kind of like to do a 45-degree and cut it off, just because the center guard exchange is very quick. If you're trapping an inside defensive tackle, we usually like to trap guy that's outside, that's first man pass the ball is usually the rule. I like to trap a guy who's head up to outside of the play side guard if I'm the backside guard. I don't like trapping them one technique. They're less apt to recognize that they're getting trapped, so there's a chance they're going to get upfield. We have to be prepared for that. We have to know that it's going to be a quick trap. That's why instead of taking a flat step, I'm taking almost a 45-degree step to replace the center off his ass when he comes to make the block. Defensive ends, they're more athletic. They expect them to engage. A defensive end, if you're smart and you're playing a team that pulls a lot, you're teaching your defensive ends a lot of times to wrong arm or to come down and crash and blow up that puller. I coach outside linebackers too, and I'm teaching my guys when we're playing a tight end, if he disappears inside, I'm expecting that power kick-out block. I'm going to make contact. I'm going to collision that kick-out block right now behind that guard. So you got to be prepared for that when you're coming into the party to make contact. You just got to be smart with it. And then starting to get even more athletic, you have linebackers. It cannot be a flat pull. You have to be able to round, get your shoulders square. Why do we want to get our shoulders square? That linebacker is not like a defensive lineman when they're moving north-south. They can move east-west too. They can be athletic, and we have to get our shoulders around and be able to be an athlete of our own and be able to move to the left, be able to move to the right, be able to read where that linebacker is going. So our pull is going to require us almost to bucket step, and I'm going to talk about that just now. Our first step for our longer pulls, for our defensive end pulls, and I'll get more into each one of these in depth into how we can use it. I just want to sort of go over what our thinking is. When we take a flat step, I like to take a flat step. If I'm pulling right, I'm taking my right foot, turning it on a 90-degree angle, using it to pull my body around, where now my head is flat down the line of scrimmage, ready to go. I want that for longer pulls on power and counter when we're kicking out that defensive end. That 45-degree step I talked about, we want that on shorter pulls where we talked about trap. Why? Because the center guard exchange is going to be so tight you almost want to rub cloth with it. Okay, it's like a more of a GT counter or an edge stunt with that center and that guard right there if you want to be particular about it. So it's got to be quick, and he's got to get up on it. If he doesn't have the time, if he does a bucket step pull, he doesn't have the time to get flat and kick him out. Okay, if he does a flat step, that's not enough time. You got to be quick on it. Drop step and crossover is what I teach my guys for linebackers. If I'm going to pull right, I'm going to drop that right foot back just a little bit, crossover with my left foot, almost doing an athletic basketball move there, and that keeps my shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. Another one you can also do is you have bucket steps. I'm going to drop back with that right foot, take that left foot just a little bit back, so I'm sort of backing up and then getting on my path with the bucket step pull. So those are just a couple different pulls. Some I like for linebackers, some I like for a flat step if we're going for a defensive end or an outside linebacker, some I like for defensive tackles. It just all depends. And finally, strike point. Are we teaching hands or shoulder? I teach shoulder if I'm primarily shoulder, the sort of the fat of the wing right here. Okay. I'm teaching all of that for my defensive end traps, power counter, defensive end trap, defensive tackle trap. My hands have got to be what I use for the linebackers, I think, because I'm coming around and now I'm having to be athletic. That whole thing where I'm having to be an athlete and go either left or right. And my worry there is he going to slide off if I use my shoulder? If I'm coming up like this, am I really able to get him if he goes left or right? You know, defensive line wise, you sort of got a feeling what's coming. If I'm the left guard pulling, I want to trap him with my right shoulder and keep my head between him and the football. They're trying to run to the left of me if I'm kicking out, whether on trap or on power. High or low, I prefer low. The linebacker, I'm probably higher than anything. The defensive end, defensive tackle, I want to hit him in the thigh boards, in that hip pocket, and drive his butt to the sideline. That's the ideal kick-out block, and that's where you want your pancakes to come from. You know, I want this to be set up well. All right, and we're going to go through in this series, guys. I know this is a very quick video, but we're just sort of going through the analysis there of thinking when you're going through your arsenal, okay? We talk about building up a toolbox so you know different types of pulls for different types of situations. All right, you sort of got an idea of where we choose different types of pulls for different types of situations. Well, we want to be able to give those toolbox, and that's keys to the toolbox to the kids. We want to practice these in drills. We're going to go over the drills. We're also going to go over the plays where we want to use each individual pull. We want to go over coaching points a little bit more in depth to the pull, step by step. You know, we're going to be doing this on the newsletter. We're going to be doing this on the video channel. So I hope y'all are excited for that. I think pulling is an integral part of any type of offense. I think you got to have that guard being able to pull, especially nowadays where you outrun so much 10 personnel. You got to have that guard being almost your true fullback that's on the line of scrimmage. Coaches, I hope you enjoyed. Know that you got to score points to win games. If you want to score points, you got to know that you got to dominate in the trenches. You got to win on the trenches before you win on the scoreboard. And to do that, you got to know that bigs rule the world. All right. Thank you, coaches. Sign up for the newsletter. Hit subscribe. Let's get us over 200 subscribers. Bye, guys.